children rise up in this time. Conquering it fit to conquer. Conquering it fit to conquer, yes. Conquering it fit to conquer. Strong like a lion we are. Conquering it fit to conquer.
Hello, lovely people. It is a beautiful day up here on Mount Shasta, the meeting place of heaven and earth. God and Goddess, thank you so much for the lovely sun, for all these birds that are blessing us with their songs and their awesome energy. Thank you so much for the little chipmunk that I was feeding yesterday and all of the wonderful creatures that are here under the dome for us to love and connect with. So grateful for the opportunity to connect with animals and how going vegan has opened up my heart and mind and soul to the love of animals, the true love of animals. Help us all to be awakened to the love that we are once again, the love that we came from, the love that you have for us, so that we can be loved and also share that love with others. Help us to extend the wisdom's nod to love to everyone around us so that we can make the world a better place. In the name of Elohim, I pray. Amen. Today on the Nasserean calendar, it is Humanity Day. There we go. And on the screen is our noontime peace contemplation. Our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent, send to all your angel of peace. To humanity, send your angel of holy work. We've talked a lot about holy work, especially in the last chapter, holy work, yoga, holy volunteerism, holy philanthropy, doing different things that you can where you are at to try to get towards, your daily income, your daily job being aligned with your holy work. Definitely easier said than done in this world. But I'm glad that part of my holy work is getting to be here and sharing the message with you. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I saw a few people in there. Hello, Yaakov. How are you doing? Kyle says, hey, where are you today? Any plans after the stream? I am on Mount Shasta. Just around the corner is Bunny Flat, just chilling. And earlier, before I got on here, I was trying to work on the slides for chapter 62. I have mentioned before all like the baseline slides done, and now I have to go in and just get some more detailed stuff because it's a lot of great stuff coming at us. Someone earlier commented and said, believe in your heart and stop reading his story. I responded that I'm not sure if they mean the Holy Megillah, but I'm not going to be stopping reading the Holy Megillah because it has really inspired me. Is it perfect? No. But does it contain the highest spiritual teachings that I have come across? Yes. Does it contain the Old Testament stories that actually make sense? The story of Yahshua and Miriam that actually makes sense on a logical and a spiritual level. So I've definitely found my home in the Holy Megillah. And like many of you might already know, next month, at the end of the month, is the National Essene Gathering, and I'm going to be consecrated as a priestess. So I'm super excited about that. I was actually seeing on Facebook 1 year ago was when I uploaded videos about Adam and Eve. I was reading the story from my phone. I didn't even have a Megillah at that time. It's definitely been a lot of change in a very short amount of time. So I'm really grateful, and I'm part of one of the evidences of the validity of the Holy Megillah, the spiritual and physical transformation of people who read and apply the teachings, not just reading, but actually doing the noontime peace contemplations, the various communions, and as we learned all those various types of yoga to help us connect with the branches and roots of the tree of life. Today, I just wanted to share a message about the world that I dream of. I have been talking about a golden age future for a long time, and many of you already kind of know some of this information. But before, I was thinking about how robots could do all of the jobs that we don't want to do, and how we could make a more futuristic world, essentially, using the tools that we have. technological tools in specific, especially AI and robotics, to basically make a, a really extravagant golden age. However, upon reading the Holy Megillah and really seeing how much being around artificial things it changes us, the new generations that are growing up with their phone in hand, their even yeah, that's so crazy how we grew up outside, and now generations are growing up with tablets. I've seen very young children proficiently use like an iPad or whatever to play games before, and that's so crazy. This definitely has an allure, and the more that we use this magic black box technology, well, for one, the less that we are using our own intuition, our own thinking capacities, and things like that. Not always the case, but how many people, their first, when they have a question, they go to Google or chatbot or whatever. I know most truthers are going to say not Google, but um, whatever, right? That's what the mainstream people go to. And again, the more that we go into this artificial future, it all kind of ties together. For me personally, when I have a child, I'm not going to be as attached to my phone as I am now. I'm definitely not going to be putting them in front of the black box to be entertained. I was talking to a friend about the children's media that I wanted to make, and it started off as, animated video, but I'm thinking that anytime the pictures are moving, it starts to become more magical, and then it leaves your imagination, and now the imagination is all happening in front of you. They're moving, they're talking, they're acting, and that's mesmerizing for us, and especially for children. So, yeah, for my future generations, they are going to be living out in the wilderness, and being connected to nature. That's the future that I want for my children. And that's the future that I want to manifest all around us. Returning back to nature, not going further into the AI robotics era. Frankly, the jobs that we don't want to do, we shouldn't be doing anyways. All of us, like our prayer says, to humanity, send your angel of holy work. Finding our holy work and doing that is going to be really fulfilling. It's going to help everything. It's going to help people feel better. You're going to feel fulfilled. You're going to be happy to go to work. And frankly, even the menial jobs like scrubbing the floor and cleaning toilets, in the Nasri and Kibbutza, there are always people that are willing to help and to serve, even in those capacities. I've already seen it myself, being in the church and being one of the people that is willing to go and scrub the toilets and do the other jobs that other people don't want to do. Not that that's like my favorite thing to do, but I'm willing to help wherever the church needs help. But I've seen this with other people as well in planning the 8-8 gathering, which I'll put on the screen for anybody who is interested. When we are going to be here in Mount Shasta with Dave Greenleaf, Priestess Therese, some other priests and priestesses from the Nasrian Way. I've had many people that are going to come already say, hey, whatever you need help, if you need help making food or anything, please let me know. So I know for sure that in these settings, we don't need to have robots to do the tasks that we don't want to do. First of all, those aren't going to be done. We don't need to be having factory workers and all of this stuff that is related to the microwave matrix, the microwave lifestyle of everything that you want in 30 seconds right here. Everything's at the tip of your fingers. It's not really how God and Goddess created nature. That's not how nature works. When you plant a seed, that doesn't just sprout up and give you fruit right away, right? It takes time for that tree to grow and mature. It takes love and patience and cultivation and all of those things. Obviously, that's a big change for a lot of people. And for me, myself, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of convenience that I have enjoyed my whole life that hasn't really done me very good in a lot of ways, right? Having all of the TV shows, all of the food, all of these things, unfortunately, they're all bad things for us. Thankfully, we do have fruits and vegetables from, all over the world, but then that also comes at a cost, right? There's shipping, there's all sorts of different arguments that we could make that we should be eating local and not from other places. But anyways, the future that I want to see is having fruit trees growing all over the place, little berry bushes. Even in Mount Shasta, there's some really, maybe over here too, some really great places where you can just go and pick blackberries. And it's just like huge amounts of fruits that could be replacing the green grass gardens that are all around. So growing our own food, returning back to nature, finding real magic. When we start to connect with those branches and root forces of the tree of life, we not only get, spiritual upliftment and insight, but our existence, consciousness, and bliss expands. And when you have, you can see farther, when your consciousness expands, you know more, you understand more, you again can see further. It also comes with more spiritual abilities. Megillah specifically says that any thought, word, or deed that is not aligned with divine will results in the contraction of your consciousness, and the spiritual abilities that we have literally diminishing. That includes discernment, being able to discern if something is true or not. That inner feeling sometimes is like, nah, there's something, like I just know that whatever I'm being told is not true, right, in my gut. And that's one of the developments of that we get, essentially one of those spiritual upgrades that we get from becoming into union with those branches and roots of the tree of life. So tomorrow I'm actually, well, I shouldn't say tomorrow because I have quite a handful of slides left to do and not really sure what the day holds. I'm really excited about some new things that are going to be happening around Mount Shasta area. Progression with the Green Lion Army, obviously the 8/8 events that are coming up, and being consecrated as a priestess, all that kind of stuff. But some different connections being made, and opportunities being opened up to really grow and expand the holy work. So really excited about that. But what I was going to say is that I will be working on the next chapter, which is the symbols of contemplation for the roots and the branches of the tree of life. They go along with the yoga. When we have our morning and evening communions, we will say the communion prayer, the words of union with the tree of life branch or root. And then there's a symbol of contemplation that goes with all of them as well. So we'll be getting into that. But all of these things are helping us on our spiritual ascension up the golden ladder. And, we don't just seek to ascend to get away, to escape this hell realm. We seek to ascend, and then we see our brothers and sisters that are also ascending, but maybe lower than us. And we reach down to pick them up, to help them, to bring this world with us. This world is not getting left behind. We're going to raise it up, whether people like it or not. I love that. It talks in the prophecies of the Holy Megillah that at the end of the test, essentially, the seventh trumpet being, when the seraphim artificials are revealed and other things happening to lead up to that. But in the prophecies of the Magdalene, she talks about how at the end of this, there will be the golden age, the millennial reign, whatever you would like to call it, where all beings who resonate with the higher vibration world that this was supposed to be, me and you, right? Let's get back to Eden. That's the world that we want to live in. Those of us who resonate with that will actually get to enjoy this paradise world for a period of time. And that's really exciting. I'm really excited for that. It also, knowing the Holy Megillah and the prophecies that actually make sense, has kind of put out of my mind the biblical revelation timeline in the mainstream Bible. A lot of people are promoting this idea that it's Satan's little season and that the millennial reign already happened, that was Tartaria, which I don't agree with. Tartaria does not represent the golden age of the Lord and Lady Christ. It's not this extravagant gold building and palaces and like just all of this extra stuff. It's returning to the basics of nature and being one with nature and, enjoying the animals and just living how they want us to live. Furthermore, again, I don't believe the timeline in Revelation. I believe the prophecies in the Holy Megillah, and there is no Satan's little season in that. Right? At the end of the age, there is that golden age, and then we start again. It's pretty much simply like that. Those that are ready to graduate will move up in the school, and those that aren't will find their places where they fall, if you will. And those of us who hear the holy call, the heartbeat of the Lord and Lady Christ, will then be again coming on missions of mercy to help the fallen world. So, the world that I dream of is a natural world, a world where all beings are free, where we're able to use the resources of Mother Nature to make our lives good, to enjoy, to share, to be at peace with one another, including the animals. So hopefully you dream of that kind of a future as well. Together we can make that. Every time that we put our thoughts, words, and deeds into manifesting something, we'll talk about manifestation in quite a while. It's actually part of the unpublished scrolls of the Holy Megillah that I got to help number, doing the verse numbers. So I got to read some of the stuff. And actually, Day already talked about this in church, so it's kind of already publicly known. But manifestation essentially being like 10 concentric circles. And every time that you're adding energy into it, you're literally pulling that thing into existence, kind of like, either a cauldron or a magic hat. You're, putting energy in your thoughts, words, and deeds, and you're going to pull something out, and that's going to manifest as your reality. It can happen with anything, even things that, people will say is impossible. Anything is possible in this reality. Most people are just too limited in multiple ways, including limiting ourselves to actually do something about it. So I'm really grateful for the knowledge that we can do something about it, that our lives are a result of our thoughts, words, and deeds. And we can observe those things and how they come to fruition, if they are good outcomes or bad outcomes. And then we can change so that we can change our lives. Literally, all of the power is in our hands to have a good life or a bad life. That even includes just having a good attitude. Are you mad that it's raining, or are you happy that it's raining, right? Just as simple as that. So I'm going to jump off of here and go and do some dedicated work on my slides so that we can move on with the next chapter. Really good stuff coming up, but it is definitely a lot. So might have to be split into a two-part thing as well. Anyways, I was planning on coming at 3:30, so tentatively speaking, I will be here at 3:30 unless something else comes up. We can talk about the truth of our reality and whatever comes up in conversation. I hope that you have a wonderful day. May God and the Goddess bless you.